God knows what's going to happen next at Stamford Bridge, because Chelsea, once again, Chelsea Football Club. This Oscar, I'm not going to lie, you man got packed by Everton. We're calling it free Nicky, bro.
First of all, that's a crazy statement. Second of all, we need to talk about Chelsea's week, not just game.
Oh, Chelsea entire born.
Hey, Robin put salt in the wounds, man.
Kick things off, Robin. Kick things off for that week. I want to see top of the week.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
And then they lost last weekend. I can't remember who they played last weekend. And then they went back to
when they were caressing the ball. Is it that one? What was the game?
Newcastle.
Yeah. And then obviously midweek, the Parisians came to London. They did the ultras stuff. Their drum got taken away, by the way, and they were still the loudest in the stadium.
They were there to party, man. Them men were there to party. There was no football to be watched.
And then, obviously, Chelsea do the light show and all that stuff. Get the pants prepared. 3-0. We've seen it throughout the Champions League that you can come back. Difficult, but you have to be on it from minute one. How long did it take until Kvaratskhelia put the ball in the net? 6 minutes.
It was a great finish.
6 minutes. And then, obviously, Barcola, again, scored another bagger. And then Mayulu in the final, I was like, wow, 8-2. To the European champions is dark. And obviously,
are you done?
No,
y'all finish. Y'all done.
No, because we have to talk about now. We have to talk about Sunday.
Oscar, you got this week. I'm not gonna lie.
This is an EFA. He's going in.
I clocked in to talk about Sunday. This guy's going in on Wednesday. We were out, Robin.
We are week to week football, my friend.
This is week to week, boy.
But then Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, all comes out. Yeah.
We were already out, man. We were already out. Saturday afternoon, guys. I don't know why. I thought to myself, you know what? We're going up to the Hill Dickinson. We play better away from home than we do at home. I looked at the lineup. I saw Palmer. I saw JP. I saw Caicedo. I say, you know what? Yeah, man. 3 points. 3 points to the Blues. I didn't know which Blues that was going to be. I know we were going to put. It's weird because I can't every week say it's the worst performance of the season. Like, I can't keep saying it, but we keep getting worse.
Bro,
like, that has to be our worst league performance.
This was a beating, man. I'm sorry.
That has to be. We actually got slapped. And the worst thing is, I don't have a tactical answer for you, man. Like, in all the other times Chelsea get beaten, I can break it down. I can say what we did wrong. I can say why. When I watched this game, it was just like every time Everton broke, they scored. Every time they didn't have that many shots on target, but the ones they did, they scored.
Chalk and cheese, man.
We made Beto
look like Beto's on a hat trick.
We made him look like prime Drogba. We did. Yeah. He was manhandling Wesley Fofana all over the gap. Fofana couldn't get near him, dragged him from pillar to post, and just had him on the floor. I keep talking about Enzo Fernandez. I'm getting bored. There was reports that came out after the PSG game that apparently he's unsure about his future and he might want to leave. Well, I say good riddance. If we can get 70% back on what we paid for him, then take the money and run. Because
Oscar, guys, are you not hearing Oscar? He said good riddance to Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah, get 70 million for him, though.
No, wait. No. Listen, guys.
No.
When Chelsea signed Enzo Fernandez, this is this is Usher. This is the U-turn of the millennium.
I mean, look, let's not act like it hasn't been like gradual. It's not like I've just turned a corner randomly and said, get rid of this guy that I loved yesterday. I've long said, I remember when Caicedo first came to the club and David was on the podcast ready to cook Caicedo for his early performances. I said, no, slow down. Caicedo is finding his feet, but this Argentinian brother has lost track of what he's meant to be doing in this team. Like, what is he? Like, what? Let's unpack the myth that is Enzo Fernandez, because he can't win the ball. Off the ball, pretty much useless. Yeah, all he can do is run around, which Conor Gallagher can do that. So that's pointless. Retrieving the ball, the best parts of Enzo Fernandez's game, I felt when he first joined the club, he was playing deeper and he had space to play incisive passes. He would pick out players. I remember we scored a fantastic goal against Leicester away where he just dinked it over the top for Havertz. He did another one for João Felix in that same season over the top. He was able to pick passes when he's in space. Now we have anchors. Now we play Reece or Andre Santos or Caicedo. He's asked to be further forward. And when you play in that further forward role, you have to either provide in final third actions, so passes through to João Pedro, through to the wingers, or, scoring goals in the box, which I think he was doing with Palmer out of the side. When Palmer wasn't in, he was doing very well at arriving late in the box. But even still, it's not enough. It's not enough. And I think him and Palmer just seem to be two players that are really, really out of form and out of favor. But the worst thing is, I think this is all Enzo can really offer us. Do you know what I mean? I don't see that much to his game that, like, when he's on it, it's going to be completely different. With Palmer, we can clearly see it's a player that's off form. We can clearly see he hasn't found his legs. He hasn't found his limit. He's spoken about it. He's coming back from injury. Doesn't feel comfortable on the pitch. Doesn't know what he can do with his body at this point. Enzo is fit and firing. Yet the Enzo Fernandez that I see, both under Maresca and under Liam Rosenior, leaves so much to be desired. Leaves so much. I don't look at anyone else's team and think, man, they could do with an Enzo Fernandez. I don't. Like, he's just not adding enough for the price tag. And that's why I say, if there's talk of his head is not in it, because one thing about him is that he is a bit of a warrior. He does like to fight and shout for the team. But if his head is not at Chelsea, then we lose that too. So you may as well get shown the door.
Wow.
But the problems at Chelsea are way bigger than Enzo Fernandez. We need an overhaul of centre backs. Our centre back situation is ridiculous. We need a new goalkeeper. We need a manager. We need a manager that can manage. Guys, Liam Rosenior is whack. Liam Rosenior is not good at his job. He does not know how to set up a team to be compact and be solid, and then also have a foundation to build attacks from. All we do is go gung-ho and try to score loads of goals and leave ourselves exposed on the other end, and players like Beto are able to exploit that. It was a pathetic showing on Saturday, one of the worst I've seen from Chelsea. And to compound that with the midweek, as Robin mentioned, 2-3-0s in the space of 5 days. Before that, we lost to Newcastle. You saw what Newcastle served up on the weekend. We're about to get to that. We're about to talk about them for a second. We saw what Newcastle served up in midweek. We see who Newcastle are. So there's no excuse for them to come to your perch and beat you 1-0. So we've had 4 defeats on the bounce. And if anybody at Chelsea Football Club thinks that is good enough to keep Liam Rosenior in a job, then they themselves should not be in a job.
What do you think the percentage? What do you think of the percentage of Rosenior keeping his job is at the moment? Like, over this, it's international break. This is quite a perfect time for those managers that are precarious right now.
Yeah, he's here. Rosenior's here to the end of the season.
Regardless, yeah.
And yeah, I think so. Do you know why though? Again, I think these sycophantic idiots that run Chelsea Football Club are so they're so prideful that the idea of sacking Rosenior is admission of failure. It's admission of wrongdoing. You gave this was your guy. You employed him at Strasbourg. You watched him. You monitored him. You brought him in and you gave him a 6-year deal. So they're going to hang on to that until the wheels fall off. So we're not having a change of manager this season. And guess what? More importantly, we're not making Champions League football.
So what, you're saying back to conference?
Europa League.
No. So I'm putting permutations on right now, and I'm being hypothetical. Let's say, because we will get the 5th spot because all we need is a draw in any of the European quarterfinals, and we're done.
We could even get the 6th spot technically.
Yeah, but I'm saying, let's say Villa finish, get the Europa League as well. They would finish 5th. Liverpool finish 6th. The 7th place doesn't go FA Cup, doesn't go Europa, it goes straight to conference. So we forfeit a Europa League spot.
I don't care. Europa Conference, I don't care. Europa Conference, non-Europe, I don't care. Like, they're no difference to me. To me, the goal is Champions League. If you don't get Champions League, you failed. I don't care which one we end up in next season.
You'd almost rather be the Converse because you know you'll guarantee win it. You know what I mean? It's them.
Oh yeah, or at least I can play my kids till the turn of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least you don't have to wait. You don't have to exert your energy on that competition. I couldn't give a monkeys. I couldn't give a monkeys. Yeah,
Oscar,
which tournament we end up in. But I can tell you this for damn certain: the fixtures that we've got coming up and the players that we've got available, we are not getting in the Champions League. That is for damn sure.
Oscar, what Baraka's comment here was said by one of your owners, wasn't it?
Yes. So,
what was the context behind this?
So one of the directors had a meeting with a bunch of people that like talk about Chelsea publicly. So you guys know Matisse. Yeah, he's one of the people that got invited to this thing, and there's a couple of other people that I follow that I know that were all at this kind of like an AGM meeting, and they were asking questions about this direction of the club, and the conversations from the club were simple. It's obvious that we are building the best team in the world. We are on the right track. We don't feel like we're doing anything wrong. We don't feel like we're behind schedule. We are on track. And one of the most damning things that I heard about Chelsea Football Club last season was when we were on the course to get top 4. We finished 4th in the end. But about 10 games, about this time of the season last season, they were pressuring Maresca, and they said to him, Maresca, what's going to happen if you don't make top 4? And Maresca said, we are already ahead of schedule. We were not meant to make top 4 this year.
Wow.
When Maresca said that was a sign to me that these guys lack the ambition, and they're also a little bit deluded as to what they think it takes. Because, of course, Chelsea squad last season was good enough to make top 4, and it did. And this season, perhaps not getting top 4 and losing out on that money will be the wake-up call that these idiots need to realize that if you're going to go into the market and spend 200 million, spend it on quality that improves the first 11.